what did it remember? There's tech issues, and we didn't resolve anything, so there's nothing good to remember.
Oh, we're talking about LIC though, Long Island Championship in the football game.
LIC. Yeah. All right.
Continue allowing.
Yeah, check all those settings.
I'm checking those settings.
2 monitors. Oh, while you're doing that, I'm going to take one of these. These look familiar. Hey, tell me something. Okay. Is this backwards or is this regular? Is this written backwards for you?
No, it's written regular.
Oh. Well, it's written backwards in my little mirror box here. That's weird.
Yeah, well, they fixed it for me, I guess.
But I guess that's all that really matters. It doesn't make a difference if I see myself right.
Yeah. All right. I think I'm going to give up on this. So, you want to talk about my website?
Yeah. I have till about 10 o'clock. So, just as a reference point.
Same here. Okay. So, I'm going to show you some stuff. I'm going to go into screen sharing mode.
Share it.
Are you ready to see my screen?
Ready to see whatever you're going to share.
Okay.
You're doing such a great job.
I'm doing a good job.
Oh my God. Again with this. Hey. All right.
Okay, so this is me.
Gravity is working against me.
I'm going to come up with a song. Wait, how do you know the lyrics to the song I'm going to come out with?
I'm the writer.
Damn it, John. Okay. So
Don.
Here's. Can you see? Wait, why?
I like it.
Okay.
I like the ultra bend at the knee.
Yeah.
So, it looks like it's a SteveOsecki.com.
Steve was. This is on Steve's Squarespace because Steve
That's awesome.
has a Squarespace account where we had a lottery competition, and so I'm able to do like free trials there because we have that already. So I'm building it here. Then I'm going to transfer it over to my own. I'm going to make a Squarespace account of my own once I do it.
Cool.
But in the meantime, Steve's going to start just like doing everything that I do. He's going to play the guitar and he's going to do everything. Me and Steve talked about it, so it's pretty cool. Okay, so by the way, it's like still like sloppy right now. It's all over the place. Like I can't get rid of this dancing on the top, but that's not going to be there. And I'm going to like clean all this stuff up a lot. But I'll just walk you through it real quick. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, cool. So first off, here's the picture that I have right now. There's also some other pictures that I was thinking about, and this is my favorite so far, I think. But
I like this one.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, I don't know why. I think that. Well, it looks cool. It's good quality. So like, this is a good quality picture of you on top of a good quality picture in the background, and I just think it's simple enough. Like this looks like it could be an album cover.
Yeah, it kind of does. I like the background, and that's also like the current logo that I have. I still haven't done the Fiverr yet. I checked that out a bit, and I'm planning on doing that to check it out. But at the current moment, this is something that I just mocked up, and I like the general design of it. What do you think about it?
I think it's good. I think what it reminds me of is like your name in lights. Like if you're like 100 years ago, people went to shows and there was like the name of the person lit up with like light bulbs. Like that was how their name was written. It almost looks like that to me because it's like glowing.
Right. Yeah. I had that in my head a little bit as I was doing it. I think it goes well because I'm doing a lot of like the star theme in the background. Like it works being like bright white with the stars being bright white and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the the text for party and also the background and
The text, the what party?
the text where it says party below Dan's.
Oh, dude, I didn't see that.
Okay.
Maybe it's as a
It's
function of the screen being really like pretty small on my end, but
yeah.
it's also like it doesn't look something's not centered about it, and then it looks
Okay.
off centered to the word Dan's, but then it's just like it's hard
Yeah,
to
it's got to
see
be a bit
because it's
more
just
right.
white and very very thin.
Yeah, it
Maybe
probably better to
thicker.
see it on a different screen. I want it to be kind of
Bigger.
like not too noticeable because I want the main focus to be the logo, but I'll think about that
I
better.
well, if this is like your main landing, this is your website, right? Is this the website supposed to represent all of what you're doing? Like, is this going to be like the main place where I can get an idea of your brand?
Well, kind of. I mean, the website's never going to be the or rarely going to be the first point of contact. Um, I'm going to link to this in all the social media places, like at the top of Instagram bio or Twitter bio, or wherever. It's going to say like briefly what I am, and then you're going to see what I'm doing on Instagram or Twitter or on Twitch, and like those are going to be the places where people will find me mostly, and then they can click the website, and then this is like where it has the summation of all the things that I do, kind of.
Okay, so what about being like how many names do you have right now? There's Dance Party, potentially Dance Crew, Dance what's the other one? I know there's at least one more.
Yeah. So dance every day. So
Right. Okay.
the way I'm thinking about it right now, and let me know what you think about this, is dance is like the central logo thing and like the main thing that's in common with all of them. And then dance party is also kind of like it's kind of like the main brand, but there's also some deviations from it. So Dance Party is the name of the live stream that goes on just about every night where I play the songs. Dance Every Day is a live stream where I just share everything else in life. Dance Crew is going to be the Patreon. People can join the Dance Crew and support and play different roles to help out. And then uh, Dance, the website, I think the domain name I'm going to go with is dance.party. And then also the name for like the YouTube channel and the SoundCloud and all that stuff is also going to be dance.party. I was thinking of maybe doing it where it's all different, like SoundCloud is dance music and YouTube is dance tapes and stuff. But I think it works out best this way, where like it's all dance. It's mostly dance party, but there's a couple deviations from dance party, like dance crew and dance every day.
Okay. So what do you think of this? Because I'm thinking like if that's your main landing page, without getting messy with like drop down menus and all sorts of stuff. I don't know what your plan is for that, but what if it was like you had right under Dan's, like Dan's is up here, and then you have like party, and then one of those I don't know what that like vertical bar is called, and then like every day, and they're just both links to whatever else you're trying to get to. So it's like clean, but you have like the links right there, and also suggesting that Dan's is your thing, and then this is there's Dan's party, there's Dan's every day, or do you think that it's too separated?
Um, well, first
Because I
let me
see
show you
where
what I
party is
currently.
now. Like, would I be able to click on party?
No, and that's not clickable. Nothing on the top thing is clickable here.
Okay.
But let me show you what I have because I think that'll clear it up. Because I'm not exactly sure what you're saying, but I think the way that I'm doing it, I feel pretty good about it right now. So there's two things. One is that I have one of those top left clicky navigation bar things where
Mm-hmm.
you can find the different things that I do. And so there's a home page, there's music, there's videos, there's live stream, social entrepreneurship, contact, and then dance crew. And then the second thing is when you scroll down here, the first thing that says is, "Hey, my name is Dan Komkowski. I run two live streaming channels, Dance Party and Dance Every Day. I mostly make music, but I also make different types of videos too, and I'm also a social entrepreneur." And then each one of those, Dance Party, Dance Every Day, make music, and different types of video and social entrepreneur all link to the different pages where they have the different things. And then there's also going to be the social media links right here too.
Does that scroll down any further?
Yeah, it scrolls down more. So I have one thing that I wrote down like a paragraph, kind of like an opening paragraph here, and then I also have pictures of and clickable pictures of dance party, the stream, and I have a clickable picture of dance every day, and I'm going to have clickable pictures of each of the social media links, like social media icon things like that.
Okay.
So what do you think about that? Does that make is that kind of like what you're saying, or were you saying something different?
No, well, now that I see like the full layout of the page, it looks like a mobile friendly page. So I was thinking originally, like when you get to a landing page, you want to make it as easy as possible for people to get to your content, right? So
Yeah.
one way to do that is to scroll down. Another way to do that is to just have at least the main links right under. So if there was like just below Dan's, if there was like a very like faded, maybe like gray bar going across the entire thing end to end across your head, like above your head, and within
Right.
that there'd be like the same things that are in the drop down menu, but I wouldn't have to click. I wouldn't have to A, find the drop down menu, B, try to click to it, because like the even slightly like slight things like that make it a little more difficult for people to go through. People usually just don't do it. Like if it
Yeah,
gets too
definitely.
difficult, they just won't click. So that's the only thing I was thinking. But that's more of like I guess like a technical piece about getting the buttons in the right place, but like layout wise, I like that. I like that there is something below Dan's, because then you have. I think that putting a long bar below the word Dan's could give it like a platform, and it makes it like the title instead of it just looking like it makes it look interactive, like to have things that you can actually click on there before I even have to scroll down. Because if I want to go straight to something that you have to offer, I think it would make sense for me to see it as soon as I get there. But I think all the content is good that's there, and I think that when you scroll down, it's good because it gives you it's a very like modern feel for the site, like where it's very social media oriented. There's a personalized message, and those are the first things that I encounter.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. What do you think about? I was thinking about doing the links on the top, and that's how it was at first. But well, one, I'm open to the idea, but I also kind of like how it just like the whole top is like the stars and stuff like that, and it's not like it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't feel too cluttered like this right now.
Yeah.
Um, and I also like down here, like I I have this, and I'd really like to raise it so like this is right below my feet. I'm just not sure how to do it. So if I could make it so it's not even you have to scroll down to see it, but like the first thing you see is like that, and then maybe right below my feet is this first opening sentence where I talk about these things. I'm able to kind of like introduce it in sentence form a little bit, which I kind of feel like it explains it a little bit. Whereas if it's just like say the buttons, like
Mm-hmm.
um, they're
Yeah,
good,
I don't even. I get totally what you're saying. I think what to make it
right.
simple, at least in the short term, I don't know how you would do it technically to get the words up under like a picture like that, like a
Yeah,
caption. But if you just went back to wherever you edited that, and because it looks like it's just blacked out where the in the shadow there, you could just literally you put a text box in the picture, and then as long as you're not going to be changing it too frequently, and then you could just import
yeah,
the picture back in, and it would be there. Um, I know what you're saying with not wanting to put a bar there and cluttering it. What if you took more of like an organic approach to the picture? So you're looking at the picture, you have all these stars and like cool things going on. What if there were like 4 or 5 most important links that you'd want people to see there, like some of the most important things out of the drop down? And what if you like brightened like that star to the left of your head a few inches, look like halfway to the end of the page, that really really bright star? What if that had like some sort of creative way that you could put like a word in there, and then I could actually hover over it and maybe either hover over and get an expanded view of what it is, or
okay, yeah,
click directly into it, because that would be a lot less intrusive, and it would like flow into the feel of what you're trying to do here, I
yeah,
think.
right. That'd be cool. I'm not sure how to do that,
I'm sure there's
but
a way. Some of the
yeah,
best websites that
there's
I've ever
definitely a
seen,
way.
I
I've
think,
seen it
have that
before.
like,
I've seen.
yeah.
Yeah, and that'd also be interactive, which is nice too.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But it
I'll
wouldn't
think
like
about
jump
that.
at people too much. Also, maybe like if you put things, maybe not stars, but maybe something that draws someone's attention more that's different from what's there, like a small rocket flying through the sky, or like a shooting star. Maybe like the shooting stars are interactive ones. I'm not sure. By the way, I saw a shooting star last night. It was really cool.
Oh, neat, cool. And those are comments, I think, right?
I'm not sure. I think they're meteorites. I guess they could be either one, but I don't know how I would tell from Earth. I think they're meteorites though, because it looked like it burned up and then it was gone. Like I couldn't see it anymore. It's not like it went like all the way across the sky.
Okay. What do you think about if I'm able to raise this, which I'm pretty sure is easy to do too, raising like that short sentence. Well, first off, what do you think about the presentation of like these 4 sentences here? And then,
can you make that a little bit bigger? Can you make that window any bigger, or is that's almost as big as it gets? Right.
Is this better? It doesn't change the picture size, but it changes the text size.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Because yeah, again, like my screen is like not too big, and then this is only I don't know how to make this even full size, like on my end.
Okay, is it big enough? You want it bigger? Screen.
No, that's good. I can read it.
Okay, cool.
So you asked me what I think of like those 4 that paragraph, that first paragraph.
Yeah, both on a level like as the first thing I'm saying. Do you think that that's good? And what do you think about that? And then 2, as a presentation of if I can put that right below my feet, having that as the way that the first way that people can interact with the things I'm trying to focus their attention towards, in addition to like the drop down menu.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea to have something written there, at least until like a point where I think it makes sense always to have something written there if people are going to be coming there and like they want to get a feel. You want them to be able to see what you're trying to do there, and you can actually tell them, which is what you're doing here. I think without having to scroll down, it would be better to do that there. So I agree with that, like right below your feet, as long as it looks fine. As far as the actual wording, I feel like the first sentence is a little bit immature and almost too informal, but it does not like it has to be really formal, but like, hey, my name is Dan. I don't know. It doesn't sound like, not that it has to be like professional, but like I think you can get more creative with something like that, or at least like more of like either like more inviting. I don't know how you would do that other than just like, hey, like would you ever start like a letter to everybody off as like, hey? I don't know, maybe. Also, the last one where it says I'm a social entrepreneur, I would stay away from making statements like that personally, as like far as proclamation. I heard someone say something once. You know, you see under certain people put in their bios or whatever, like thought leader, and something about calling yourself a title is really different than other people calling it, or than you trying to just tell people. And this one podcast, this guy was like kind of ripping people up for just calling themselves all these things instead of just saying this is, you know, maybe I consider myself this way, or this is what people have said about me, or something like that. It's like validates it through a different channel. It's almost like me saying like I'm an expert in this instead of just telling you why I'm an expert or something like that. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Although I don't know, I feel like it's different. Like a social entrepreneur is not an expert in something. Like it's not like a brag. It's not like I'm doing this, I'm good at this, something like that. It's like it's the quickest way that I can say that I do things like recycling furniture in a lottery competition and stuff like that. And I think that's a good thing to share. That's part of my whole message and brand, and a big part of my work, to make these things that are like these ways of helping people in the world by finding like new ways to do good, social good.
I get why you do it. I think that another way to word it and maintain the same feeling on your end, but maybe convey a warmer message, is maybe something like, I love all things social entrepreneur, or something like that. Or I work towards, building social entrepreneurship, or something like that. I don't know. Saying like I am a social entrepreneur just sounds different to me than talking about what it is that you're doing, or like what your mission in social entrepreneurship is, or something like that.
I can also say something like I create.
Save the world.
I also create organizations to create social good, or something like that.
Well, also like when you start with I also something, it's almost like it almost sounds like no matter how great that thing is, it's almost like not as good as what you're doing here.
Well, I'm trying to make the main focus like the music and the videos, and that's why I have that first. And I mean, I'm not trying to make it seem like it's not as good, because it's really important, and in some ways it can have a much larger effect than the music and the videos. But
Hmm.
I feel like I also want to make sure that I have like a clear focus, and by putting like the music and the live streaming first, then that makes it
Hmm.
easier for people to comprehend. Because most of the audience is going to care about the music and the videos, but there will be some audience that looks into it, the social entrepreneurship, and they're like, "Wow, that's really cool," and people could wind up really caring about that too. Do you
What
know what I
about
mean?
like if you're interested in social entrepreneurship, check out what I'm doing here or something like that, like to direct people in that way. I guess they're just different ways of saying the same thing, but I think there's probably a better way to invite people to check out the social entrepreneurship link.
Okay. Um,
Like if you're interested in learning about what I'm doing social, in my social entrepreneur whatever area of my life, this is what it is. Or if you'd like to get involved in my social entrepreneur projects, because then it puts like ownership on, your ownership on it instead of just saying like I am the thing.
right.
I would just play with it. Maybe just like try to brainstorm like 5 different ways you could say that last thing. I think just
Okay.
that's a good activity for anything, and just see if you like any of the other things that you come up with, and then it's really just all your decision anyway.
Okay. How about for the opening sentence? You said that you're not sure about the opening one. I could have something that's maybe more inviting by saying like "Welcome to the party" or something like that.
Yeah, like kick off your shoes and join the party or something like that.
Right.
If it's a party, I guess how would I feel at a party? I've been to different parties, and the best parties are the ones where the music's already happening. That could even be like the opening sentence. Like the best parties are where the music's always happening, and I run 2 live stream channels, and this is where you can fucking party. Or
Yeah.
maybe it's not. Maybe that's not the angle. And it's something like just like a join me for the party, or I don't know.
I like "Welcome to the party"
Like
because it is like they're coming, like they're at the website right now. So
mhm. Or like you've made it to the party or something. I guess yeah. Well,
yeah.
I think
Oh,
welcome to the party is better than just my name is Dan Klimkowski or hey my name is Dan Klimkowski, because if they're here they know your name is probably Dan. Dan's is on stuff, and this is probably like you said not the first place they're coming to. So if it's not the first place they're coming to, they've probably already seen you and seen you do something on whatever other channel they're coming through, even if it's just you
right. That's
talking on
true.
social media. Like your name Dan is everywhere. So
Yeah.
I think that you could almost scratch that entire thing and recycle it to be something like you're talking about, like either welcome to the party or or jump right
Uh,
into the fun with
yeah.
on my 2 live stream channels or something like that.
I could say like I'm so glad you made it or something like that too.
Yeah, that's also really warm. That's like I'm so glad you could make it to my party, or I'm so
Yeah.
glad you could make it to to spend time with us or something like that, or me.
Hmm. Okay. Cool. I also have this thing over here which I like. Hold on, it's not supposed to be there. Let me just write that one thing down.
I thought that said general distractions.
General distractions.
General sounds counterproductive to write general distractions down.
Okay. We only have like a few minutes left, so we'll just do the rest of the homepage real quick. Sound good?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Um, so I also have another thing. Here is going to be. I'm going to have the social media links in 2 places, and so I'd like to have it is for that text to be right below my feed, and then the social media links to be right below it, and just to have like Twitter, Facebook, and all those things right there.
Hmm.
And then at the bottom of the page, I mentioned that I'm going to have this, so it's going to have the social media like big things in there because the social media links is a big part of the whole objective of the website, like to get people to see like the other stuff and to show it and connect and build the connections on all the networks. So I'm going to have it repeat there, and then right after I have the first opening sentence, and then the next thing, then I also have a paragraph about what I do, and it kind of relates to the picture and the cosmos and the music and the stars, and it also kind of relates to the party, and it kind of tries to bring it together. It's still not done. I was writing it last night, and it's got to be refined more, but you want to check that out and let me know what you think of it?
The paragraphs below this?
Yeah. So
yeah, sure.
It's right over here. If I zoom out like that, can you still read it?
It's pretty small, but I can read it.
Well, I'll keep it the same size, but just let me know when to scroll down because it's like spread out right now, and
I got you.
It's going to be refined and shortened a lot, but right now it doesn't fit all on the screen.
Okay, no worries. Can you scroll? Thank you. Okay. So what kind of feedback are you looking for here specifically? Or just any feedback?
Any feedback?
All right. Can you come back out a little bit so I can see the whole thing at one time? Because now I'm not reading it. It's not as important. All right. So, that's really far back. All right. So the first paragraph, I don't like the first paragraph. And your oh, one more thing is just so much longer than the thing before it. I don't know, that whole thing. I don't like it. I know this is not a final draft yet, so the typos and stuff is not like a problem, but there's so I know at least I feel like when you have people come to your channel, you want them to identify with who you are, what you're doing, and all that. And part of that is your transparency, that you don't know what's going on. Like that you don't know what's going on. The way it comes across is a little bit like lack of authority in what you're doing, because you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what I'm here for. I understand why you said it, but I think that I don't know how to say it differently. Maybe there's a different way to say it. I think that whole paragraph could probably be 1 or 2 sentences. Also, I think like I got the idea. Going down the second paragraph.
Yeah, well, the first paragraph is definitely going to be just like all this is probably going to be like half as long or so. I mean, there's a lot of ideas there, and I'm also totally with you that I don't like. There's a fine line between being like vulnerable and transparent and honest with like stuff like that, and then going too far and just being like, I don't know, and just like saying too much with it. And so that's also something that I want to make sure I don't go too far with. And also, like right now, it's a lot of ideas where they'd be cut down as much as possible to get it.
I like the feel of the second paragraph. A little bit wordy. Like, I think that like being able to draw it to more concise as you're going to in the future is going to be helpful. I like that. So at the very, very end, like all of it, where it says, I'm here to party. Yeah, that's how it's. How's that sound? Sounds good to me. And then that last line, I feel like those could almost just go straight to the top, because that's why people are here. That's why you're here. That's why people are here. Let's say that up front is like, we're here to party, or I'm here to party. And, but there, and then you go, but there are some things that I do know, maybe you say, like, you bring the bottom part to the top. You say, I'm here to party. Yeah, how's that sound? Good to me. Now, I don't know what I'm doing here other than to party, but I do know, and then you go into that second paragraph. So if I were to restructure it, I would say the last 3 lines first, then a concise 1 or 2 sentences for the second paragraph, or the first paragraph rather, and then just clean up the third paragraph, the second paragraph, right. I'm sorry. So basically just bringing the bottom questions to the top and cleaning up everything underneath it. As far as like the flow of it. Because I think starting off with I don't know is like a little bit, it's not even like weird. I think it's just out of place. I think that after you say why you are, because you're like, I'm here to party. But in the first sentence, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing here. It's like really contradictory. But if you say first that I'm here to party, and then you're like, I don't know why I'm here in life, but I know that I'm here to party. Then I think people can identify with the fact that, yeah, I don't know where I am in life either, but like I can always come here to party. That's why we go to parties. It's that release. Have you read Stealing Fire yet?
No.
Okay. So basically, the whole idea is like getting outside of your ordinary states, the non-ordinary states of consciousness. And that's why we go to places like parties. That's why people are going to come to channels, I would think, to come to channels to listen to music and watch you play and all that stuff. It's just like going to like a basement jazz club. It's like you go down there, it's like, why are we all here? We're just here to just enjoy this thing. We don't know what we're doing in life, but we're here to enjoy this thing right now. And I think that right. People can identify with that. If you first say that you're here to party, you don't know what else you're doing. Like, you don't know why we're here in life, but you know that we're here to party. It's like you're validating why everybody's here.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
That's good, because otherwise I'm just crazy.
There are follow-up questions and stuff that I want to ask you, but it's past 10, so I don't want to ask you questions and run past time. So do you want to talk about it more another time?
We can. I mean, I always have a few extra minutes for you. I'm not like I have to go mow the lawn. It's not like it's up to you. If you're feeling like we're in a good flow and you want to go an extra 5 minutes or whatever, I'm cool with it.
Okay, I'm down to talk more too. My mom said that she's gonna make breakfast and have it ready at 10, but she's always late for that stuff anyway. So
it's okay. I was late coming in, so.
Just let me know if you want to go mow that lawn. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's make it a hard stop at 10:10, and that'll give us an extra 5 minutes from right now.
Okay. Sounds good. So yeah. So what I was trying to do here, and I don't know if this matters at all, or if it got across, or if the way that you're talking about it, the way you're talking, it definitely makes sense. But I want to see if it makes sense with what I was trying to do originally. Is try to say, like, I don't know what I'm doing, and much more or less I don't know how to sum up everything that I do in a few sentences. Like I do it earlier, but I don't know how to sum it up. I don't know what I'm doing, but there are some things that I know. I love to do all this stuff, and then like I'm trying to make party to be all of those things. Like, so how do I sum it up in a few sentences? I don't know, but here's a ramble about things that I do know. I love to understand and listen and make people's life and make music and stuff like that. And then occasionally I like making things up, when it sounds good. So what am I here for? Well, I don't know, but I thought of a way to sum all that stuff up. I'm here to party. Does that make sense? Like the way that I'm trying to build that up, like saying, I don't really know how to say all this stuff quickly, but here's a bit of a ramble about stuff that I like. And sometimes I like to just make it up and, oh, here's a good way to make it up. I'm here to party. And so I'm trying to make the party inclusive of all of these things as well. I try to add the meaning to the party. And I wonder if I can do that by putting party in the first place. Because when people say party in the first place, then, party has a meaning to people, which I want to convey, and I want to represent that. I want to throw a regular party that people are here to have a good time, but party often doesn't have those deeper meanings attached to it too. And I also want to include those deeper meanings that explains why I'm in the cosmos here, and why I have the social entrepreneurship and the streaming and stuff like that, and why I'm doing all that stuff, and why this is all branded as the party, why this is all the party. Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
It does. It does. I almost see the last part where just those last 3 lines where I'm here to party. If you were to condense those, if you, sure.
What's up?
I'm thinking scrambled and French toast.
Yeah, sounds good.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Rosemary.
He says hi. All right, I'm sorry. Was that what were you saying?
So if you were to take those last 3 lines and you were to put them together and almost make them look like an excerpt from something, like if that was a quote, and if you could stay with me here, you take those, you put them in like a box. It's like, I'm here to party. Yeah, how does that sound? Sounds good to me. And then like the person who said it is either you or it's unknown. And that's like a different color above that. So it's like your first paragraph could still be, I don't know what I'm doing here, because it's really separate from that last part. I think that still belongs at the top. I understand what you're talking about and what you're trying to do. It just doesn't, I don't know. It just somehow doesn't make sense to me to have all that stuff there. It's like, why am I reading all that stuff there? As the person coming here, like, if I can't, I want to know that this is about the party. If I'm here and it's called dance party, I feel like if it just goes into what's all this other stuff, I don't know why that makes sense. I don't know what websites I would even read that long in if they weren't identifying with their own thing. Right. I think validating that it is a party would be important to me as a reader first, and like stuff I wouldn't even think about, just to have it there to say like this is, and like something. I don't know. Maybe I'm way off with this, but
no,
it just seems like the structure. It just somehow to me, like flow wise, even though what you're saying makes sense, it still makes sense to me to have that last part first, even if it's not part of that white text that's there. It could be like above it and like a banner that has like a quote in it that's related to partying, or maybe that last part you just delete the last 2. You just delete the last 2 sentences completely, and your last statement is, I'm here to party. And that's it.
I definitely see what you're saying, and I agree with that. I think it's a good point, and that I don't want to, like, to write a lot of stuff that doesn't necessarily connect with the party atmosphere, and is more like introspective stuff like that, and all that it does disrupt the flow. I think to have it like that. I mean, it's also a little bit tough to find out exactly the best way to do it, because I still haven't refined it and made it so longer than it should be. But I think that you're totally right, that it seems like it makes more sense if it says I'm here to party and it starts with that. And I definitely don't, and I definitely don't want it to run too long in general. And so there's part of me, like, I feel like this is really good to include because it explains all that stuff, and if I can put it all in there to write something short, but also that explains the party and the picture and all my work succinctly, and maybe kind of poetically, then that'd be really cool. But I'm still not even positive it's good to have this kind of thing. But
it might be good to have it if you preface it the right way, and maybe instead of just going straight into it and like, oh, here's another thing, because if you just say, oh, here's another thing, it seems like it's going to be related to what was before. What if you were to say something like all that, like the party stuff beforehand? So you have the first couple of sentences that are going to be in the picture with you on the landing page. Then below that, maybe you have something like the last 3 sentences on here. So like, I'm here to party, and the next 2 in a banner or in some sort of like colorful whatever, not like too distracting, but something that's like, like it identifies with the brand. But then there's a section that says like, now let's get deeper, or something like that. So like it transitions me away from just the party atmosphere, because in a conversation you would never have a flow like that. You would never say, you would never just be like, hey, welcome to the party. Oh, wait a second, let me get real deep on you real quick, because I know that's not why you're here, but that's what I'm doing as a host. And if you give me an option, you're like, hey, here's you could even have like your hands outspread, or like this. You could be like one finger up, one finger down. And like if you're just here for the party, head back up this way. Party's upstairs. If you want to get deeper, scroll down, and then you can go into that. I feel like that's a good transition, as if you were standing in the doorway and you were like, party's on the left, philosophy room on the right, and you can come and get deeper with us now if you want, or something like.
Right.
It's more directive and more inviting. It lets them choose instead of kind of getting. I know it's not your intention, but kind of like suckered into reading something they didn't intend on. Because I mean, if they just see your channels, it's just like a lot of fun, and this just gets deeper. It has its place. I think it's just an offshoot, or like a different rabbit hole to go down, that some people will want to go down, and some people might not want to go straight there.
Yeah, I agree. It could also be on a different page too. Like it doesn't have to be on the homepage, or there could be a link to it on the homepage.
It could. I mean, it depends. I think how important you think it is for people to have the option to read. I mean, you don't want to make it too hard either. So many about pages get lost, or like
that's true.
You know, like there's a lot of like dead space on websites. I think it depends on how concise you can get the message, and you can give people an option to even go from there to another page that's really not too displayed, that they can just click a link at the bottom to go even deeper down the rabbit hole with me. And then you can have like a blog page about it.
Yeah. Well, I had a bunch of, I actually wrote this out, but like way, way longer, that I was thinking about doing on a separate page. And I did that like last week, but then I was like, last night I was like, I think this would go well on the homepage if I just cut it down a lot. But I don't know. What do you think?
If you're going to keep it on the homepage, I say cut it down even more, maybe 30 to 50% more than what you've already cut, to make it even more refined for the homepage. And then still, I don't think there's anything wrong with having that other page with all that.
Yeah, well, I'll probably do the other page because there's a lot more I can say about it, but I'll probably work on that later, though, because it's not as big of a priority. If I can get across this, just on doing like just this, then I can do that stuff later, I think. Do you think that that thing I was explaining before about how it's like how those are all part of the party?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Do you think that is? Yeah, bye. Do you think that is? What do you think about that? Do you think it makes sense, like to have the like to try to inert or try to put this meaning into the party to like? I'm sorry if I'm not explaining it well, but do you know what I'm asking? I don't know. I guess my question. I'm not really sure. I have to think about it and form my thoughts. I'm a bit confused what I'm asking, actually.
Okay. Well, that's fine, too. I mean, it's a new thing. You're figuring it out.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to change once people start really getting traction on it. Once you start seeing who's coming to the table. That conversation changes depending on who's at the table. That's what you're doing here. You're building a table.
Building a table. Building a party.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, I know you want this real sense of community, and it's going to be organic. So I wouldn't get too crazy over the details. I think the marketing stuff's important. Like, the branding especially is important. But as far as what it's going to feel like, what it's going to look like, put stuff out there and see if it works. See what happens.
Yeah.
More important to get it done than it is important to get it right.
Yeah.
Or perfect.
Definitely. It can always be edited and fixed. So what do you think of the,
by the looks
the
of it,
website
you
overall?
have only a 14-day trial left here, so.
Yeah, that's true. But, well, I'll let you get as many 14-day trials as you want. So I'm going to be getting free websites forever.
It's a business flaw.
Yeah.
Watch, you're gonna go try to buy a house in like 5 years, and somehow your credit's gonna be fucked up. They'd be like, looks like you had 44 trials paid for, so it looks like you're just a bad person.
Yeah, right. Apparently, you owe $4,000 per month to Squarespace.
Yeah, somehow this one slipped past everybody. They are now the strongest company in the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, because of you.
Well, I hope that was hopeful. Hopeful. I hope you're hopeful. I hope it was helpful.
I hope it was hopeful.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I think that this is it's a good project. I think it's coming along nicely. I like this picture a lot. I know they're not the same setting, but like this picture versus the other picture, it's like no contest. This one is so much better, and I know you're still probably gonna use the other one for the other things. Yeah. The cover photo, yeah.
Yeah, I like this picture a lot.
Don't underestimate like the balance of color, how important that is, and how important having crisp, clear photos is, especially when you're like your whole channel is based on like quality and videography and all that and like music, but you're on the screen the whole time and you bought 4K cameras and to have this other like really shitty looking quality picture is not doing you any justice.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions about the pictures?
Shoot.
Okay. I'll first show you the other pictures that I had for this one. I think that's the one I'm going to stick with, but here are the other ones. And these are all pictures. I just did like a little photo shoot yesterday. Can you see what's going on there?
I can see it. I like that one. It almost looks like you're leaning on the end. If you could get that really perfect, like if you actually leaned on something in your room, and then you you had it all green screen and all that, and it looked like you were leaning on the end, that would be so fucking sweet.
What, like standing on the back of the water? You mean like that?
No. I'm talking about leaning on, like with your elbow, like leaning on a chair, and then like taking out the chair and putting the end there. Oh, the end and dance.
Okay,
you wouldn't actually be able to use that picture. It would be a different picture.
I thought you were saying the end.
Oh no. No, I think that placement-wise, I think like just dead in the middle. If you're gonna use that picture, it looks good. I just think it'd be really cool if you were like leaning forward, or like leaning forward. Like if you had like two chairs and you were leaning forward like this on the two chairs, and then it was like the A in the end. I like when people do that with photos.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. It's cool when they make it creative like that. Yeah. So there's a couple different background pictures I'll show you. I think that the one I have is the best. It's just the most like colorful and fun. But then there's that picture. One with
that one sucks.
Walking on water, and then there's also like a regular kind of nature one too. But
no, that's not as good. Not even close.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then here's
that's awesome. That looks like the cotton candy back there.
Yeah, right.
But it's better because it's the universe or a galaxy. Yeah.
It's like universe, but it's also like imagination, cosmic party and stuff.
Fucking, it's crazy.
Yeah. So there's that one where I'm just holding like that. There's also this one, which I'm like very happy.
I like it. If you can further edit the background too, because I can see.
Oh yeah,
I can see stuff behind you and all.
And yeah, I just have to go and just trim that up, but I can fix that though. I did that for all the other ones. I just hadn't done it for these ones yet. There's also this one.
No. That one's okay, but I like the one where you're smiling a lot more. So if you go back 3, that one's weird. I like that. I think that one, yeah, dude. Like, also don't underestimate like smiling and looking at the camera. That's a sweet shot.
Yeah.
That's a sweet shot. And like if you raise up your photo a little bit so that your left foot is touching the top of that like thing.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then here's the last 2 or 3 that I didn't show you yet.
That one's pretty good too. The one where your like head's kind of back, looking like your hair is kind of falling down in the back. Yeah, like that one. Looking at the or looking at nothing, just your eyes closed. That's not a bad shot.
Which ones do you like the most?
I like that one a lot. I'd say that that's like even for me because it looks like a really organic smile. When I look at it, I want to smile. So I guess it depends what you're going for. If you want people to feel a certain way about it, you know, I like this one a lot. I like the one if you go through a couple. I don't like that one where you're like, I like that. Not a fan. Oh, let's go back one. I like that one. I think that one looks pretty cool. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. Maybe make it a lot bigger. Can you make yourself like? Can you just resize that quick?
Yeah. And by the way, I can make these as big or as small as I want. Although the quality isn't perfect. I shot it with the 4K camera, but it kept unfocusing, so it's not like. And also the computer program isn't capable of recording in 4K. So.
Okay. Wow, like limitations of technology. Just when you think you get it all right.
I'm trying, but when you do make it big, it does get like pretty blurry. But
yeah.
And that, but I can have it like this big, and it's not really noticeable unless they're on like a super big screen, which they usually won't be. So, but what do you think is the best size? Like I had this size for the other one, which is a bit smaller than that. But.
So can you go back to that other one where you're smiling again at the camera? This one, there's something like it's so much sharper, at least where your face is, because I can tell where the plane of focus is. If you make that one larger, I feel like your face is not really distorted. But I can see that your shoe in the back is fuzzy, but it's not important because it's not on the same plane. Like the plane that's in focus is your face, which is why I think I'm also attracted to this photo, is because it's sharp. It's pleasing to my eye, even though it shouldn't make too much of a difference because I can still make it out who it is, and like, you know, but it makes a difference, I think. Even if you have to go back and reshoot some of those photos, even if it is like a lot of work, I think that having the sharper photo is probably 50% of the quality of the photo, no matter what position you're in. It's going to be how sharp it is. Like,
yeah, well, it definitely helps. I'm not really sure how to get it sharper though. It's like I try to get these as sharp as I could.
Well, can you manually focus it, or is it all constantly autofocus?
No, it's all autofocus with this. I still have the other camera that I'm planning on selling, but that camera's better. But I don't have somebody to like focus it for me, so I'm at the mercy of autofocus basically.
Okay, if there's no way to manual, because if you had manual focus, you could just focus it in, like you could put a microphone where you want to stand, focus it on the microphone, and then stop the focus, and then just go stand where the microphone is, and that's like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm able to do that actually. Do you think that these need to be better focused? Because I feel like I was originally thinking that I would probably do another, thing with making the photos better and stuff like that. But then when I got these, and I figured as long as they're not like huge pictures like this size, I feel like it's pretty good, or this size looks pretty good. Like, do you feel like I need to do that? And of course, I'll always, like, months or years down the line, I'll get better photos as I go along. But
no, I think you can get away with it. I just think that if it's noticeable, you'd want to do something about it. And I think that when it starts getting like really out of focus, it's noticeable. And it just looks like this looks so much better for all sorts of reasons. It just looks well produced. It looks like not sloppy. Again, I know it shouldn't make maybe too much of a difference, but I think people notice things like that. It just makes your channel look like a quality product.
Yeah, I want it to look like quality and polish and stuff like that. Definitely.
I would go with photos that are in focus first, and then try to figure out which position you like the best. I like this photo a lot. The more I look at it too, the more it looks like natural. It looks happy. Like, I almost like that your face is pretty much almost the only thing in focus. Like the face and the right side, or the side of the guitar on the left in the picture is in focus, and like everything else is not the point of focus, literally and figuratively. So I think it works. Also, it's a really good smile.
Do you prefer? So which one's your favorite? You said you like this one, and there's the original photo, and then there's one other one you said you liked, but I don't remember which one that was. Do you have a favorites or preferences? I like this photo, the original one here, less than the one we were just looking at with the open smile looking at the camera. Okay. I feel like the knee bend thing is like unique.
but I don't really like it that much.
What,
At
the
least not
picture
like
in the hole or the knee bend?
Yeah, no, just like it looks like you're about to fall down. I'm not sure. It's like it's almost like distracting to me.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know, like who stands like that? I don't know. Maybe Dan's does.
Well, yeah,
Can you?
I was trying to do like a dance, like a dance pose while I'm playing guitar, basically. Which what I was trying to do with this too, with that where I mean, who stands like that too? But
No,
I'm
but
trying to like,
that's like you look like a performer in that one. The other one looks like you're about to fall down. Here it looks like you're
right,
performing. It's like you're playing your guitar, and it's just like I happen to catch you when you're like doing your thing. Some of them, like the one where you're like this and kind of like looking. It almost looks like you're looking to figure it out. It looks like if you go back, can you go through some of the shots?
yeah, sure.
That was pretty good too.
Which one? The first one?
The one where you're just standing like hugging the guitar. It's like I love
like
this guitar so much. I love music.
Yeah.
Again, like, that's
thing
another one where the guitar and like your whole like waist up is very sharp. I like that.
Another thing that I was trying to do, by the way, or that I was thinking about is one, I can be looking at the camera, and I like that because it's with the camera. But I also like the idea of looking up at one, the logo or like the name of the party, and then two, the like the stars. So that's also something that's in the equation too.
I think looking up at the logos, I think it's unnecessary. Also, like something about the logo and the two words above it and below it, I would just straighten that out. I'm not sure what's wrong. It just looks like off kilter.
I'm thinking taking a welcome too. I think it's probably better.
Yeah, I think so. It's almost like you're like, hey, welcome to the party.
Yeah,
It's like just party.
And then this, I guess, could be moved a little bit like there.
Yeah, whatever like perfect center is. Like I wouldn't put anything wording wise off center. Because if things are like generally in the middle but like a little bit off, it almost looks sloppy. If it's perfectly in the middle, then it just looks very symmetrical, which is very pleasing.
Yeah, I agree. And those are all things I'm definitely gonna do. I just haven't made those touches yet. Do you want to see the other pictures again? Or?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this picture.
It's just not as much fun for the party, I think. I like the picture, but it just doesn't work as well here, I don't think.
I don't like that one. You look like a ghost. That one now, that's the original one, right? Like the cover.
No, that's not the original. The original is that one.
Oh, well, I think this one's better than the other one, but I'm not crazy about either one. That one's pretty good. I still think I like the one where you're leaning in and you're looking at the camera. Yeah, dude, I like that one a lot.
Is there a difference between these two? And they were right next to each other in the thing, and one's bigger right now. But is there a difference? You definitely have a better eye for focus than me, because my eye just doesn't see focus at all unless it's like really out of focus.
Really? It's like crisp, clean lines. That's all it is.
Yeah, but like for me, like I don't know. Like I notice when it's really blurry. Like there's a bunch of times it was really blurry, but I don't really notice it. Like
can you go back and forth between the two you were talking about?
Okay. I think the one on the right's better. That one's better, just because my eyes are a bit more.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. So you can see if you look at the. It's probably also lighting and maybe like the way that the light's hitting your shoes and stuff. But it looks to me, and this is also like I'm not looking at this on a very high resolution screen or anything. Like it's just standard 1080p, and it's actually fairly small on this screen right now. But just something about the photo is just so much more pleasing. I think that waist up, it's again very like crisp, clear, and then the guitar, like things that don't matter in the picture that are not focused, not a problem. I think your smile is important. I think the main body of the instrument's important. If you look at the neck of the guitar up to the head, it's like that looks out of focus to me, but it doesn't matter. Like that's such because I still am looking. Like our eyes are drawn straight to the person's face. As people, we look at their face first. So if that's not focused, then it's like, what am I looking at? If I was to look at your shoes first, like if you were in a shoe commercial, I'd be like, dude, this this photo sucks because like your shoes are like it's not
Right.
really too clear, but it's
Uh-huh.
not. It's about you and the instrument, and those two things are very clear. I think that
Right.
looks really well. I just think it looks also great against the background.
And so you definitely like this one the most.
That's my favorite.
What sizing do you like the most? Like this sizing, or bigger or smaller?
Try a little bit bigger. Yeah, I'd say like right around there. Like it much larger, and I think you start competing with the name for space.
With like this size,
Yeah.
it's a little bit difficult to tell where you mean because I think there might be a slight amount of lag when I.
Yeah, there's a slight amount of like. I think that that's pretty good. I would probably go like maybe make like 3 mock-ups. Just do like if you want to get extreme with it, just like make one small one medium size, and then like one oversized, and see which one looks better. Because
Yeah,
maybe
and just look
like
at them
way
side by
big looks
side.
good. I don't think it would, but maybe
Right.
it does. I don't know.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Also, like what happens if? No, I'm trying to think like what it looks like without your like if your feet were outside the picture.
I was
Can you
thinking of
try
making it.
expanding it maybe like 30 or 40% more and just dragging it down a little bit so that your feet are not visible? And maybe it's like now center your body up and under Dan's. No, I guess with your feet's good. I guess it's just also like it's kind of weird because like I don't see your feet on the ground. Like it's kind of like since it is a green screen shot, it's almost like you're floating. So I guess if you get the footing right, maybe to make it look like somehow you're standing in there. I don't know how you would do that.
Well, I was also thinking too that I can darken the shoes, and so the shoes like makes it kind of look like it's fading in with the black background a little bit, so you can see like the outline there, but it gets more like it gets kind of more faded in with the black as you look down more. Because right now it's like the shoes are shiny at the bottom, and there's not really any reason for them to be so shiny. And
If you could
that
take
way
away
it
the
would be
shine-
like I'm standing there.
Yeah, maybe try like mess with it. I think though it looks good that it stands out from the background though.
Yeah.
Because I still want to be able to unless maybe it would look cool if like your pants blended straight into the mountains. So it's like you're kind of part of in a sense like you're part of what's going on here. You're not just
You
on top of it. Try both. Try just cleaning up the shine and then just like try totally blackening the shoes to the point where like I can't like you're melting into the silhouette almost.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try both
It'd
of
be
them
like
and see how
you're
it
kind of
goes.
growing up out of the mountain playing your guitar.
Yeah, both of them could work. Okay, cool, man. Well, I have to go get breakfast now, but I really appreciate your help with all this stuff.
Yeah, anytime, dude. Anytime. I enjoy this.
All right.
All right, enjoy breakfast. I'll talk to you later, Dan's.
I talk to you later, man. Enjoy that mow lawn, that lawn mowing.
Will do. Peace.
All right, man. Peace. See you.